Hello to everyone. My name is Aditya Kumar Sharma. I have done my MSc in Mathematics from IIT Madras. Today I am going to deal with complex numbers, or I am going to teach you complex number. But before going into complex number, let us do a small question of quadratic equation. That is x square plus 1 is equal to 0. When I will solve this, it will be equal to x square is equal to minus 1. Now from our class 10th understanding, we know that a square of any number can never be negative, and therefore we have seen that after coming to this step, we will say that there is no solution to this equation. But we will try to get a new notion of another set of numbers which are called as imaginary numbers. So what we will do is, when we will further solve it, it will be equal to x is equal to plus minus root under minus 1, and this quantity root under minus 1, we will name this quantity as iota, and therefore this x is equal to plus minus iota. So x is equal to iota or x is equal to minus iota are the solutions of the quadratic equation x square plus 1 is equal to 0. So basically what we are doing is we are just naming this quantity root under minus 1 as iota, and by doing so what we will do is we will derive every square root of negative numbers in terms of iota. For example, if I have root under minus 4, what we will do is we will write it as minus 4 into 1, which will be equal to 4 into minus 1, and from here we will what we will do is we take out 2 from the root, and it will become root under minus 1, and from here we can write it as 2 iota, because root under minus 1 is 2 iota. So basically what we are doing is we are multiplying iota to every real number and generate another set of numbers which are called as imaginary numbers. And when we combine these real numbers with the imaginary numbers, so we will denote z is equal to a plus iota b. So this a and b are real numbers, and when we will multiply iota with a real number, it will become an imaginary number. And when we will combine a real number with an imaginary number, it will become a complex number. And that's why we are going to study the complex numbers. So now we will look at what are the powers of iota. So we already said that value of iota is equal to root under minus 1. And now we will look what is the value of iota square. So iota square is basically the square of iota. So we will what we will do is we will square the value root under minus 1, and then we will square the square root and square cancel, and we will left with minus 1. So the value of iota square is minus 1. Now what is the value of iota cube? So we can write iota cube as iota square into iota. And the value of iota square we have already calculated, it is minus 1, and therefore minus 1 into iota, it will be equal to minus iota. So the value of iota cube will be equal to minus iota. Now what is the value of iota 4? We will write iota 4 as iota square into iota square. And we have seen the value of iota square is minus 1, and therefore it is minus 1 into minus 1, which is equal to 1. Now when we will try to calculate the value of iota 5, what happens is, can we write iota 5 as iota 4 into iota, that is iota raised to 4 into iota, and we already seen that iota 4 has the value 1, and therefore iota we can write as iota, so it has value iota. So we have seen that iota raised to 5 has the value iota. Again when we will try to write iota 6, it will be equal to, so it will we can write iota 4 into iota square, which is equal to 1 into minus 1, which is equal to minus 1. So and this minus 1 is equal to iota square. So what we are seeing here is, after the fourth power of iota, the value are repeating, like iota raised to 5 is equal to iota raised to 6 is equal to iota raised to 2. So we can generalize this as iota 4n is equal to 1. Like when we will do any 4 multiple in the power 4 multiple, the multiples of 4, it will be equal to 1. And when we will write iota raised to 4n plus 1, it will be equal to iota. And when we will write iota raised to 4n plus 2, it will be equal to iota square. And similarly, iota raised to 4n plus 3, it will be equal to iota cube. And the value of iota square is equal to minus 1, and the value of iota cube is equal to minus iota. So we can generalize this as iota raised to 4n is equal to 1, and similarly iota raised to 4n plus 1 as iota raised to 4n plus 2 as iota square, which is equal to minus 1, and iota raised to 4n plus 3 as minus iota. Now one more thing I will calculate is what is the value of 1 upon iota. So when we will try this, we will use the process of rationalization, but we have already seen in our earlier classes. So 1 by iota can be written as, we will multiply iota in the numerator and denominator. So we will get iota upon iota square. So it will be equal to iota upon minus 1, and therefore it has the value of minus iota. So 1 upon iota has the value of minus iota. So we will use this in many questions directly. Now, one more thing. What is the value of any 4 consecutive powers of iota? So we can look at, like iota plus, actually what is the sum of value of any 4 consecutive powers of iota? So we can write iota plus iota square plus iota cube plus iota cube. So in place of iota we can write iota, or it has the value root under minus 1, whatever you want to write you can write. Iota square has the value minus 1, and plus iota cube has the value of minus iota, so we can write minus root under minus 1, and iota power 4 has the value 1. So you can see it is equal to 0, because root under minus 1 cancels with minus of root under minus 1, and minus 1 cancels with 1, so it has the value of 0. You can start from anywhere. Suppose you can start from iota square plus iota cube plus iota 4 plus iota 5. It has also value 0. So iota square we can write minus 1, plus iota cube we can write minus iota 4 we can write plus 1, and iota 5 we can write plus iota. So again it has the value of 0. We will use this concept in a question that we will see in the later slides. So it is very important concept that the sum of any 4 consecutive powers of iota has the value 0. So we will see some questions based on the concept that I have discussed so far. So the first question is the value of the sum n is equal to 1 upon 213 iota raised to n plus iota raised to n plus 1, where iota has the value root under minus 1. Options are iota minus 1, minus iota, and 0. So we can write the sum n is equal to 1 to 13 iota raised to n plus iota raised to n plus 1. So in the sequence and series we have seen that we can split these terms into the 2 summations, like it will be equal to n is equal to 1 to 13 iota raised to n plus summation n is equal to 1 to 13 iota raised to n plus 1. So it will be equal to iota plus iota square plus iota raised to 13. This term will be equal to this. We are just increasing the powers of iota, and from this sum we can write iota square. It will start with iota square. When we will put n is equal to 1, it has the value iota square. And so we are just increasing the power. It will be equal to iota cube plus, it will, when we will put n is equal to 13, it has the value iota raised to 14. Now the concept that I have just discussed just before, that any consecutive, the sum of any consecutive powers of iota is equal to 1. So what we can write as iota raised to 1 to 12, like it will be, so we can write as iota plus iota square plus iota cube plus iota 4, and then from iota 5 to 5, 6, 7, 8. So from 5 to 8, and again from iota power 9 plus iota to the power 12, and one last term iota raised to 13. Why we are just putting in bracket these 4 terms into brackets? Because it has the value 0. The sum of any consecutive 4 power of iota has the value 0. So we have write this first bracket as this, and we can write this bracket as iota square to iota 5, and again we start from iota 6 to iota 9, and again it starts from iota raised to 10 to iota raised to 13, and the last one iota raised to 14. So all these brackets has the value 0. So we are left with only 2 terms, which is iota raised to 13 plus iota raised to 14. And we have also seen that iota raised to 4n is equal to 1. So the power, when the power of iota is the multiple of 4, it has the value 1. So we can write iota raised to 13 as iota raised to 12 into iota, and plus iota raised iota to the power 14 as iota raised to 12 into iota raised to 2. And we know that iota raised to 12 has the value 1. So we can write it as iota plus iota square, and iota square has the value -1, so it has the value iota -1. So the value of this sum is iota -1. So the answer will be D. Okay. So now we will discuss one more question on this concept. So I am going to discuss one more question on this topic, or up to the concept that I have discussed so far. So let us see the next question. So the question says, what is the value of iota raised to 23 plus 1 upon iota raised to 37 square? And the options are 4, -4, 2, and -2. So just what I have discussed the properties of iota, we can solve this question. So I have discussed one property of iota, that 1 upon iota has the value -iota. So we will use this value in place of 1 upon iota directly, because you have to save a lot of time, because you are appearing for JEE, and you have to save too many steps that you will just waste, like calculating these steps. So we can write iota raised to 23 plus minus iota power 37 and whole power square. So iota raised to 23, we know that iota raised to 4n has the value 1. We will use this every time. So we can write iota raised to 23 as iota raised to 20 plus 3, and similarly we can write minus iota as minus iota raised to 36 plus 1 and whole power square. So from here we can write iota raised to 20 into iota raised to 3, and similarly we can write minus iota raised to 36 into minus iota raised to 1 whole power square. We have just split the powers by using the exponent formula. Now we can write iota raised to 20 is of type iota raised to 4n, so it has value 1, and therefore we will left only with iota cube plus minus iota raised to 36. So we can write minus 1 power 36 into iota power 36 into minus iota power 1 with whole power 2. From here we can write iota power cube is equal to minus of iota, and minus 1 power 36 is nothing but 1, and iota raised to 36, so it is of the form iota raised to 4n plus 1, so it has the value 1. So from these two we have just 1, and from here minus iota to the power 1, so we will left with only minus iota and whole power 2. So inside the bracket we are left with minus iota and minus iota whole power 2, which is equal to minus 2 iota whole square, which is equal to 4 iota square, and we know the value of iota square is equal to minus 1, and so it has the value 4 into minus 1, which is equal to minus 4. So the answer to this question will be minus 4. So I hope we have seen the properties of iota, and just by knowing these properties of iota we can solve very good questions. Now we will introduce the concept of complex numbers. So far we have discussed the concept of imaginary numbers. Now what we will do is we will combine the real numbers along with the imaginary numbers and generate a broader set of numbers which are called as the complex numbers. So let us see this. So our new topic will be combination of real numbers and imaginary numbers. So to understand the combination of real numbers and imaginary numbers, which are together with are called as the complex numbers. So let us discuss a quadratic equation which is equal to x square plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So we all know that this is a quadratic equation, and we know the formula for finding the solution of this quadratic equation, which is equal to x is equal to minus b plus minus root under b square minus 4ac upon 2. So this formula is known as the Sridhar Acharya rule for calculating the roots of a quadratic equation. So from this formula we can write the root x is equal to, so in place of b it has the value 1, so we can write minus 1 plus minus root under 1 minus 4 into 1 into 1, which is equal to 4 upon 2 into a, so a has the value 1, so it is equal to 2. So from here we can write plus minus 1 plus minus root under minus 3 upon 2, and we know that root under minus 3 can be written as minus 1 plus upon root 3 into root minus 1 upon 2, and from here we can write the value x is equal to minus 1 plus minus root 3, and the value of root under minus 1 has the value iota, so we can write root 3 iota upon 2. And when we will come to this step, we can write as x has the value minus 1 plus root 3 iota upon 2, or it has value minus 1 minus root 3 iota by 2. When we will distribute the denominator, we will get minus 1 upon 2 plus root 3 by 2 iota, and from this step we will get minus 1 upon 2 minus root 3 by 2 iota. So we can see that it has two terms, which one term has only real value and another term has imaginary value. Here also it has one real value and another imaginary value. So it is a combination of real number and an imaginary number, and combinedly these are called as the complex numbers. So complex numbers. So from here later we will see that these are the roots of cube root of unity. We will further discuss in detail. But now from here we can say that it has this quadratic equation has two roots, and both the roots are complex in nature, and therefore our from our class 10 understanding we said that this quadratic equation has no solution. So the answer is more precisely we can say it has no real solution, but it has two complex solutions. So the statement every quadratic equation has two solutions is always correct. The only fact is whether it has two real solutions or two complex solutions. So every quadratic equation has two solutions. So from here we can rectify the statement, or we can generalize the statement. So now we will see the standard notation to represent a complex number. So we will be seeing this. So the standard notation to represent a complex number is z is equal to a plus iota b, where a, b belongs to real number. That is, for example, we can see 2 plus 3 iota is a complex number. Minus 2 minus iota is a complex number. Minus iota is also a complex number. Now you will say how it is an imaginary number. How can it be a complex number? So we can write minus iota as 0 minus iota. So it is a complex number. It also have a real part and it also have an imaginary part. Similarly, when we write a real number, it is also a complex number. How? We can write 2 as 2 plus 0 iota. So we can say that the general representation or general notation to represent a complex number is z is equal to a plus iota b, where a and b are real numbers, but iota b, this quantity denotes the imaginary number and this is the real number. When we will combine these two, we will get a complex number. Now the one more concept is real part of z. Real part of z. So what is the real part of z? So the real part of z is the term which is independent of iota is called as the real part of z. So you can see z is equal to a plus iota b. So here b is multiplied with iota, and that's why it is called an imaginary number, and a is independent of iota. So the real part of z is equal to a, and the imaginary part of z is equal to b. So remember, when we will say the imaginary part of z, it will be equal to b. It will not equal to b iota. So b iota is the imaginary number itself. But when we will say the imaginary part of z, it will only be equal to b. So the imaginary part of z is equal to b. Now two more concepts are purely real complex numbers. Purely real complex numbers and purely imaginary complex numbers. Purely imaginary complex numbers. So what are these numbers? So what happens is, when a complex number has only a real part, it is called as a purely real complex number. For example, 2. So it is a purely real complex number. How? We can write 2 as 2 plus 0 iota. So from here what we will see is, when the imaginary part of z has value 0, it is called as a purely real complex number. And suppose we have only 2 iota. So it is a imaginary number. So we can write 2 iota as 0 plus 2 iota. And from here we can say that the real part of z is equal to 0. So when the real part of z is equal to 0, the number is called as purely imaginary complex number, and when the imaginary part of z is equal to 0, it is called as a purely real complex number. So these two concepts are very important, and we will use these concepts in the further lectures that we will discuss. So on this one, so I hope you have understood what are complex number, what is real part of Z, what is complex imaginary part of Z, how we can get a purely real number and how we can get a purely complex number. Now we will do operations on complex number. So on real number we have seen the operations on complex number as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Here we will do one more extra operation, that is the equality of complex number, which is very important, and you can see or expect questions on the equality of complex number itself. So now we will discuss about the equality operations on complex numbers. So let us see operations on complex numbers. So the first operation we will deal is equality of complex numbers. So let us suppose Z1 is equal to A1 plus iota B1 is a complex number, and Z2 is equal to A2 plus iota B2 is another complex number. So when we will say that two complex numbers are equal, that is Z1 is equal to Z2, what we mean is the real part of Z1 is equal to the real part of Z2, and imaginary part of Z1 is equal to imaginary part of Z2. So from here we can say that A1 will be equal to A2 and B1 will be equal to B2. So when the real part of a complex number is equal to the real part of another complex number, and simultaneously the imaginary part of that complex number is also equal to the imaginary part of another complex number that we are dealing, then we can say that Z1 and Z2 are the equal complex numbers. So both these conditions are to be satisfied. If both these two conditions are satisfied, then we can say that Z1 and Z2 are equal complex numbers. Now the second operation is addition of complex numbers. Addition of complex numbers. So again we will see Z1 is equal to A1 plus iota B1 and Z2 is equal to A2 plus iota B2. So when we add these two complex numbers Z1 plus Z2, what we will do is we will add the real part with the real part and complex part with the complex part. So it will be equal to A1 plus A2 plus iota B1 plus B2. So we will add like component wise. It will be equal to the real, sum of real parts plus iota into sum of the imaginary parts. Now the third operation is the subtraction. One more thing that I should discuss here, that addition of complex numbers are commutative in nature. So when we say it is commutative in nature, it means that order of addition is not important. So when we will add Z1 with Z2, it is also equal to Z2 plus Z1. So the order is not important. Whether we will add Z1 with Z2 or Z2 with Z1, it will be equal. So it is of no importance. So we can say that addition of complex numbers are commutative. Now the third point is subtraction of complex numbers. So let us suppose Z1 is equal to A1 plus iota B1 and Z2 is equal to A2 plus iota B2. So these are two complex numbers. So when we will subtract Z1 minus Z2, it is equal to A1 minus A2 plus iota B1 minus B2. But when we will write z2 minus z1, it will be equal to a2 minus a1 plus iota b2 minus b1. But note that a1, a2, b1, b2 are all real numbers, and we know that subtraction of real numbers are not commutative. It may be, it may not be. So for example, if a1 is equal to 2 and a2 is equal to 3, b1 is equal to 3 and b2 is equal to 2. So a1 minus a2 will be equal to minus 1 and a2 minus a1 is equal to 1. Similarly, b1 minus b2 is equal to 1 and b2 minus b1 is equal to minus 1. So you can see that these two, I mean a1 minus a2 is equal to minus 1 and a2 minus a1 is equal to just 1. So we can say that the subtraction of complex numbers are not commutative. And that is also in the case of real numbers. We have already seen our earlier classes that commutative property is not satisfied in the case of subtraction of real number. And similarly, here in complex number also we will see that like z1 minus z2 is not equal to z2 minus z1 in general. So in general it is not equal. Now the fourth concept is multiplication of complex numbers. So suppose z1 is equal to a1 plus iota b1 and z2 is equal to a2 plus iota b2. These are two complex numbers. So when we will multiply z1 with z2, it is equal to a1 plus iota b1 multiplied with a2 plus iota b2. So it is nothing very difficult. We will just multiply normally that we have that we will multiply the two brackets. So what we will do is we will multiply this one this and with this one this, and again from this to this and again from this to this. So it is a normal multiplication. So we can multiply like, so it will be equal to a1 a2 plus a1 into iota b2 plus iota b1 with a2, so iota b1 a2 plus iota square b1 b2. So what we will do is we will write a1 a2 as it is. We will extract iota and iota from here, that is common, and from here we will get a1 b2 plus b1 a2. We know the value of iota square is equal to minus 1. So from here we can write minus b1 b2. So from here we will write a1 a2 minus b1 b2 plus iota a2 b1 minus b1 a2. So this is the multiplication of two complex numbers. Now we will discuss the division of two complex numbers. So just I am erasing this. So after this we will discuss division of complex numbers. Our fifth operation is division of complex numbers. So before moving to division of complex number, let us discuss the division of two irrational numbers. So when we will in our class 9th or 10th, we are dealing with 2 plus 3 iota 2 plus 3 root 5 upon 2 minus 5 root 3. We are dealing with this division. So what we are doing is we are not we are uncomfortable with the root value in the denominator. So what we were doing in our earlier classes, we are just rationalizing this. That is, we will multiply in the numerator and denominator with the counterpart of this denominator. So what is the counterpart of this denominator? So this is equal to 2 plus 5 root 3. So we will multiply 2 plus 5 root 3 in the numerator as well as in the denominator. So we will just, it will be equal to 2 plus 3 root 5 multiply with 2 plus 5 root 3 and in the denominator it is equal to a minus b into a plus b format. So it has the value a square minus b square. So from here we can write 4 minus 25 into 3, so which is equal to 75. So it has the value 2 plus 3 root 5 into 2 plus 5 root 3 upon minus 7. So when we will multiply this, we will get another irrational number. So now the denominator is only like a rational part. So I am more comfortable, or we are more comfortable with this scenario. Why I am discussing this? Because when we will divide two complex numbers, we will do the same thing. We will just multiply numerator and denominator by the conjugate of that complex number. So I am just writing this. So let us suppose Z1 is equal to A1 plus iota B1 and Z2 is equal to A2 plus iota B. And now if we want to find Z1 upon Z2, so it is nothing but A1 plus iota B1 upon A2 plus iota B. One more concept is the conjugate of a complex number. Conjugate of a complex number. So it is very important. We are dealing with this term conjugate of a complex number many a times in this chapter. So it is better to define this. So let us suppose Z is equal to a plus iota b is a complex number. Then the conjugate of this complex number Z is represented by Z bar, and it has the value a minus iota b. We are just change the sign of plus to minus, and if I have like c minus id, the conjugate part, suppose this is a complex number Z1, then the conjugate of this Z1 is equal to c plus iota. So it is just the counter part of the complex number. So I hope you have understood what is the conjugate of a complex number. It is nothing of like dangerous concept. So it is just Z is equal to a plus iota b is a complex number, then the conjugate part will be a minus iota b, and it is if c minus iota d, the conjugate part will be c plus iota d. So we will use this concept in rationalizing this division. So what we will do is we will multiply in the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the complex number which is in the denominator. So I will write multiply a2 minus iota b2 upon a2 minus iota b. So in numerator we will get a1 plus iota b1 multiply a2 minus iota b2 upon. So here we will get so again it is a plus b into a minus b. So here it will be equal to a2 square minus iota square b2 square. Now we know that iota square has the value minus 1. So when we will solve this, so here after multiplication we will get another complex number. So I will write this as the bracket as it is. So a1 plus iota b1 multiplied with a2 minus iota b2. When we will multiply this, we will get another complex number. So I am not interested in multiplying these two. What I am interested in, what happens in the denominator. So it is equal to a2 square, and iota square has the value minus 1, and when this minus 1 combines with the minus here, it is equal to a2 square plus b2 square. So it is very important that division of two complex numbers can be written as this, and when we will multiply this and difference the real part and the imaginary part separate, and we will divide this with this is the real part. So a2 square plus b2 square is the real part. So we will separate the denominator along the real part and the imaginary part. So we will get another complex number, and in this complex number we are not having the imaginary part in the denominator. So we are only left with the real part in the denominator. which we are more familiar about. So now on this concept I am discussing two questions of JEE Main. So you can see that you can expect simple questions in JEE Main on just operations on complex numbers. So I am discussing some questions on these topics like operation on division numbers. Okay, so I am going to discuss two questions of JEE Main, one of JEE Main 2014 and another of JEE Main 2019, just on the concepts of operation on complex numbers. So the first question is, for all complex number Z, for all complex number Z of form 1 plus iota alpha, where alpha belongs to real number, if z square is equal to x plus iota y, then we will see like for all complex number z of the form 1 plus iota alpha, where alpha is a complex number, alpha is real number, and if z square is equal to x plus iota y, then options are y square minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0, y square plus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0, y square minus 4x minus 4 is equal to 0, and the D option is y square plus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0. So this is a question of JEE Main 2014. So you can see in JEE Main you can expect simple questions also. So what happens is, so z is equal to 1 plus iota alpha, and we are given that value of z square is equal to some x plus iota y. So we have to just multiply z. So z square is equal to 1 plus iota alpha into 1 plus iota alpha. So in place of z square we can write x plus iota y. So it is x plus iota y is equal to, now we will multiply these two complex numbers. So we have seen the multiplication of two complex number. So what we will get is 1 into 1 plus iota square alpha square plus iota alpha plus iota alpha. So x plus iota y is equal to 1. We know the value of iota square is equal to minus 1. So in place of iota square we can write minus 1. So it is equal to 1 minus alpha square, and what we will do is we will add these two imaginary numbers. So it is equal to 2 iota alpha. Now we will compare the real part. Here we will use the equality of two complex numbers. We will compare the real part with the real part and imaginary part with the imaginary part. So what we will get is, we will get x is equal to 1 minus alpha square and y is equal to 2 alpha. So from here we can see we have options. So we have in all the options we have y square and 4x. So we will just calculate what is y square and what is 4x. So if we want what is y square, so y square is nothing but 4 alpha square, and what is 4x? So 4x is equal to multiplying 4 in this, so it is equal to 4 minus 4 alpha square. Now if we want 0, what we will do is we want to cancel this 4 alpha square, and if we want to cancel this 4 alpha square, we will add this 4x into y square, then this minus 4 alpha square and 4 alpha square will get cancelled. So if y square plus 4x, we will get 4 alpha square plus 4 minus 4 alpha square. So 4 alpha square, alpha square get cancelled, and we will remaining with 4. And if I want 0 in the right side, what we will do is we will subtract minus 4, and therefore in here we will have minus 4, and then it has a value 0. So which option is correct? Y square plus 4x minus 4. So the answer will be B. So this is a simple question, and it has been asked in JEE Main 2014, and it is just on the concept of operation of complex number, which is very easy. Now second question is also JEE Main, which is asked in 2019. So I am writing the question. The question is, let Z is a complex number which belong to C. So C is the set of all complex numbers with the imaginary part of Z as 10. It satisfies 2Z minus n upon 2Z plus n is equal to 2 iota minus 1 for some number n, then the options are n is equal to 20 and real part of Z as minus 10. The second is n is equal to 40 and the real part of Z is 10. Third option is n is equal to 40 and real part of Z is equal to minus 10. And the fourth option is n is equal to 20 and real part of Z is equal to 10. So we will try to solve this question. So we are given that Z is a complex number and we have given the imaginary part of Z which is equal to 10. So we don't have the information of the real part of Z. So what we will do is we will put a real part of Z as A. So we will write Z is equal to A plus 10 iota because the imaginary part has the value 10. So imaginary part we can write A plus 10 iota. And we have given a condition which is 2Z minus n upon 2Z plus n is equal to 2 iota minus 1. So it is we are more comfortable by writing a real part first and imaginary part in the second part. So I will write it as minus 1 plus 2 iota. Now what we will do is we will put the value of Z from here in this equation. So what we will get is 2 into A plus 10 iota minus n upon 2 into A plus 10 iota plus n is equal to minus 1 plus 2 iota. So what we will getting is we will multiply these two in the bracket. So we will get 2A plus 20 iota minus n upon 2A plus 10 iota plus n is equal to minus 1 plus 2 iota. Another when we will simplify this, we will put 2a and minus n in the real part bracket. So we will have 2a minus n plus 20 iota, and here also we have 2a plus n plus, here also one mistake, it will be equal to 20 iota because when we multiply 2 with 10 iota it is equal to 20 iota. So here also we will get 20 iota. So this is a mistake. So it will be equal to minus 1 plus 2 iota. Now what we will do is we will just cross multiply these with the right hand side. So we will get 2a minus n plus 20 iota is equal to minus 1 plus 2 iota into 2a plus n plus 20 iota. So now we will just calculate this. So it will be equal to, right hand side will be the same, 2a minus n plus 20 iota. In the right hand side we will multiply these two complex numbers. So these two are complex numbers, we will just multiply this. So when the real part is multiplied with the real part of this, so it will be equal to minus of 2a plus n, and when this imaginary part is multiplied with minus 1, we will left with minus 20 iota, and when this is multiplied with this, we will get plus 2 into so I will write here this as here plus 2 into 2a plus n iota, and lastly we will have plus 40 iota square. So when we will solve this, it will be equal to, so I am just solving the right hand side. It is equal to minus 2a plus n minus 20 iota plus it is equal to 4a plus 2n iota minus 40. Because the iota square has the value minus 1, so 40 iota square can be written as minus 40. Now what we will do is, we will just club the real part with the real part and imaginary part with the imaginary part. So we will be having minus 2a plus n plus 40. So this is the real part, and the complex part, imaginary part will be 4a plus 2n minus 20. Now what we will do is, we will just equate the two complex numbers, the one in the left hand side, another in the right hand side. We will just get two equations. So we will compare the real part with the real part and imaginary part with the imaginary part. So we will have minus of 2a plus n plus 40 is equal to 2a minus n. So from here we can get minus 2a minus n minus 40 is equal to 2a minus n. So this minus n and minus n will get cancelled out, and we will have minus 2a. So what we will do is, we will shift this minus 40 to the right hand side, and we will put 2a in the left hand side. So we will have minus of 4a is equal to 40, and from here we will get a is equal to minus of 10. And what is a? So what is a? A is the real part of z. So we will have the real part of z is equal to minus of 10. So in the options we can check, there is only two options where the real part of z is minus 10. So option B and option D will get discarded. So only options which may be correct are either A or C. So now for this we have to check the value of n also. So from the second equation, like when we will compare the imaginary part with the imaginary part, so I am rubbing this. So now when we will compare the imaginary part with the imaginary part, we will also have the value of n. So what is the imaginary part? So the imaginary part is 20 is equal to, here the imaginary part is 4a plus 2n minus 20. And we will have the value of a as minus 10. So we can put the value of a here. So 20 is equal to 4 into minus 10 plus 2n minus 20. We will put this minus 20 here. It will be equal to 40 into minus 40 plus 2n. So 2n is equal to 80. So from here we will get n is equal to 40. So the value of n will be equal to 40. So n is equal to 40. So C is the correct option and A is not correct. So you can expect, this is a little bit lengthy, but it is very basic question that you can expect in your exams, and you can expect this type of questions also. So this is a bit lengthy, but it is very easy. It is not very tedious. I will solve some more questions on this. So now we will discuss some more questions on the operations of complex number, or just the basic of complex number. So the first question is, if cube root of x plus iota y is equal to a plus iota b, then x plus a plus y plus b is equal to, and the options are 2a square minus b square, b 8a square minus b square, c 4a square minus b square, and d 4a square plus b square. Now how to attempt this question? So what we will require is, we want x upon a plus y upon b, and we know that x and y are under the cube root of like x plus y in the cube root. So what we will do is we want to eliminate this cube root. To eliminate this cube root, what we will do is we will cube both sides. So we have cube root of x plus iota y is equal to a plus iota b. What we will do is we will cube both sides. So when we will cube both sides, in the left hand side we are just left with x plus iota y, and in the right hand side we will left with a plus iota b whole square, or we will just expand the a plus b whole cube, which is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3a b square. So left hand side will be x plus iota y, which is equal to a cube. Iota cube is equal to, so we will write this as iota cube into b cube plus 3a square b iota plus 3a b square into iota. So now it will be equal to x plus iota y is equal to a cube minus iota. In place of iota cube we can write minus iota, because we know that iota cube is equal to minus iota. So a cube minus iota b cube plus 3a square b iota plus 3a, here also it is equal to iota square, because iota b whole square is b square plus iota square. So from here we will get 3ab square, and the value of iota square is minus 1. So what we will do is we will combine this real number with this, and we will combine these two imaginary numbers separately. So we will have x plus iota y is equal to a cube minus 3ab square plus, we will pull iota common. So here we will get 3a square b, and from here we will get b cube. Sorry, it will be minus b cube, because it has said minus iota b square. So now we can see that while comparing these two complex numbers, we will have the value of x as a cube minus 3ab square, and the value of y is equal to 3a square b minus b. What we require is x upon a plus y upon b. So we can write x upon a plus y upon b is equal to a cube minus 3ab square upon a plus 3a square b minus b cube upon b. What we will do is we will pull out a from here, and we will pull out b from here. Why we are doing so? Because the b, when we will pull out b from here, this b and this b will cancel out, and when we will pull out a from here, this a and this a will get cancel out. So it is equal to a into a square minus 3b square upon a plus b 3a square minus b square upon b. So this a and this a will cancel out, this b will cancel out. So it is equal to a square minus 3b square plus 3a square minus b square. So we will left with 4a square minus 4b square, which when we will get 4 common out, it is equal to 4a square minus b square. So we can see we are having the value 4a square minus b square. So the option is option number D, which is correct. There is one correction. So the correct option is option number C, 4a square minus b square. So unfortunately I have by mistake I have ticked option B. So the correct option is C, which is 4a square minus b square. Now we will do one more question, and by this we will wind this session. So the last question that I am going to discuss is, if 3 plus 2i cos theta upon 1 minus 2i cos theta is purely real number, then find real value of theta. So we have to find the value of theta if this quantity is purely real. So we have already seen, if a complex number z is equal to a plus iota b is purely real, then from here we can we are having a result that it happens only if this z is purely real, then the imaginary part of z must be equal to 0. If our quantity z, which is a complex number, is purely real, then it clearly implies that the imaginary part should be equal to 0. But here that z is 3 plus 2i cos theta upon 1 minus 2i cos theta. So this is a complex number which is in the division form, which are not much familiar with. So what we will do is we will rationalize this complex number by multiplying in the numerator and denominator by the conjugate of the complex number which is in the denominator. So what we will do is we will multiply with 1 plus 2i cos theta upon 1 plus 2i cos theta. So we will be having 3 plus 2i cos theta multiplied with 1 plus 2i cos theta upon, so here in the denominator it is equal to 1 plus. Why we are allocating plus here? Because iota square when multiplied with iota square, it will have the value minus 1, and here when we multiply plus with minus, we will get minus, so minus and minus will get plus. So here it will be equal to 1 plus 4 cos square theta. So in the denominator now there is no term with iota, that is no number, no imaginary number. So now we are much familiar with this. Now we will multiply the two complex number in the numerator. So here we will get 3 plus 2 to the 4 iota square cos square theta. So here we will get 4 iota square cos square theta, and plus, because iota square will have the value minus 1, so it is a real number. And now we will calculate the imaginary part. So we will pull out or take iota common. So here we will get 2 cos theta plus, and we will multiply this with this, we will get 6 cos theta. 6 cos theta upon 1 plus 4 cos square theta. Now we will have 3 minus 4 cos square theta upon, we will distribute this denominator upon the two terms. So we will have 1 plus cos square theta, this is the real term, and we will have the imaginary part as 2 cos theta. So 2 cos theta plus 6 cos theta is basically 8 cos theta. So 8 cos theta upon 1 plus 4 cos square theta. And we know that to z to be a purely real, the imaginary part should be equal to 0. So what we will have, this part is equal to 0. So when this part is equal to 0, so 1 plus 4 cos square theta is a purely positive number. So we can cross multiply this to the right hand side. So we will have 8 cos theta is equal to 0, and ultimately we will have cos theta is equal to 0, and we will know that cos theta is 0 when theta is the 2n plus 1 pi by 2 multiple. where n belongs to z. So theta will be the odd multiples of pi by 2. So when theta will be the odd multiple of pi by 2, this 8 cos theta, cos theta will be 0, and therefore 8 cos theta will be 0, and therefore this imaginary part will be equal to 0, and when the imaginary part is 0, the complex is purely real number. So this is the value of theta. So I hope you have understood the concept of complex number, what is imaginary number, what is complex number, what are the powers of iota, and what are the operations defined on complex number, equality of complex number, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and I have discussed some questions on these topics. Later in the next chapter we will do some more topics on complex number. So thank you for this.